Migrant workers from the Philippines, Mexico, and Central and South America who have worked Pacific Northwest farms and canneries. We recognize the immigrant and American-born workers of African, Asian, and Central and South American descent whose labor remains hidden in the shadows, but still contributes to the well-being of our collective community. We recognize that our economy continues to rely on the exploited labor of incarcerated people, largely people of color, earn pennies an hour while generating billions in goods and services each year. And we know there are many people, too numerous to mention, who are prevented from reaping the true value of their labor by unjust systems and cruel practices. We mourn their loss of life, liberty, and opportunity. We acknowledge that the theft of labor is the theft of generational progress. Nearly all people of color have been robbed of the opportunity and wealth that their ancestors might otherwise have passed on to them. I just got to read 3 more and then I'm done. I'm kidding, that's it. All right, so now I'd like to bring up one of our program managers here, Tanisha Harris. Welcome.
All right, thank you, Avi. Good evening, I'm Tanisha Harris. I am one of the division directors at our Justice Care and Opportunities Department. So I first just want to tell you that I stand here in all humility and in all gratitude for being here, being in this space with each and every single one of you. On behalf of JCOD, we sincerely thank you for coming, the ones that are here in person, and we have people that are chiming in online, but we really don't take your participation and attendance lightly. So I'm really here to just talk to you a little bit about what you can expect from us today. Really, we came here because we want to hear from you. This is a community listening, it's a community feedback session. So we are looking forward to hearing more from you shortly. There's a little bit of feedback. I'm not sure if I should stand away from the heater or does it, the speaker? Okay. But just in general, so for today, you can expect to learn about JCOD. So we, my team and I, who you'll hear from shortly, we've been attending community meetings and learning a lot from you. And one of the things that we learned is not a lot of community members know who JCOD is. So we're here to talk to you sincerely about JCOD, the work that we do, why we're all so passionate about it, and our why we're doing this work. Then we're going to transition into learning more about our programs. We have a lot of programs at JCOD that service the justice-involved populations. So we've been around for about 3 years. And within that 3 years, we've done a lot in the community. And so my boss, you'll hear from in a second, Adam Bettino, is going to talk to you about those programs and just how successful and how impactful they are. Then you'll learn about our D.O.O.R.S program. We have 2 programs in South LA. We have a program in Antelope Valley, and you're going to learn about D.O.O.R.S and why D.O.O.R.S is important. And then after that, we want to spend the majority of this time listening to you, learning about who you are. And I also know, and I'm very much aware, there's a lot of community leaders here in this room. Some of you I have met, others I have not. Please know that as we're building relationships, if we have not met you, we want to meet you. We want to learn from you. We want to make sure that you feel seen, that you feel heard. And as anything that we're doing with JCOD, we try not to work in silos. So I've been with the government for a very long time, doing a lot of community work for a very long time. And we learned that working in silos, it really doesn't work. So please know that in all sincerity, we genuinely want to listen and hear from you, whether it's simple questions about JCOD, why we do what we do, but we really do want to turn this into a listening session in general about JCOD. So this is our first time in your community, and I know how important Long Beach is to everyone that's here. And so again, with all humility, we thank you for inviting us, for coming and being a part of our JCOD presentation today. So now I would like to turn it over to, I believe it's Jeanette Christian from Supervisor Janice Hahn's office, and that will be followed by Adam Bettino, our Deputy Director with JCOD.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to do a quick hello and introduce myself. My name is Jeanette Christian. I'm here on behalf of LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn, and we work really closely with jcod and the Health Department to kind of bring these services to Long Beach. And as jcod, you listen to jcod today, we just are really wanted to thank jcod and the city team for working together to figure out what works best for Long Beach. And I just really want to encourage you all to be honest and open. If you haven't met jcod, please meet with them, but also introduce yourself to me if you want to share what your program does, ways that you want to work together with the county. I'm open ears. So I just wanted to say a quick hello. Supervisor does definitely support whatever we're bringing to Long Beach as far as services. We're asking the county to bring lots of dollars. So that's what jcod to us represents, is resources as dollars to the city of Long Beach to provide these services. So thank you all for being here and for everyone who's online. And I'll go ahead and hand it over to Adam. And Adam has to stand here in front of the camera, but I don't think you have to go here. You have to follow.
I don't want to be political. I'll come around. Hi, everybody. The reverb is really weird. But I kind of like it. Thank you, Jeanette, so much for being here. And as Tanisha mentioned, we're really here to hear from you all. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but we really do want to spend some time introducing ourselves too. I have had some conversations with some of you in the room. I know our team has had conversations with you as well. We've been in some smaller team meetings, but we really wanted to take the opportunity to introduce jcod to Long Beach. Many of you know us, and I don't want to make any assumptions that you do not. Many of you have been with us actually from the beginning, and kind of helped birth the department, frankly. But we do want to talk through some of the services that we are offering countywide, and then have some discussion with you all about some specific things that you see in the city of Long Beach. And I'd be remiss if I didn't share too that, you know, today we're in Thrive Park. We're in one part of Long Beach that probably doesn't represent all, right? Some of you have come from different corners of the city. This is really a first step for us in a lot of ways. We plan to do this as often as we need to do this, frankly, just to continue to talk about the work that we're doing and the work that we hope to continue to expand here. So thank you. Bear with me here. I was told there's a QR code where you all follow along the presentation, or you can get it after. Is that right, Amy? Awesome. And our wonderful Amy, who created the slide deck, is unfortunately having to sit behind the curtain. You can't see her. And big thanks to the comms team. Our communications team is here. We have some program staff here, some program managers. You all met Tanisha already. Please, if you all have questions afterwards about anything specific that you need, I'm here. We have a bunch of our team here to answer your questions too as we go. Feel free to interrupt me too as I roll through this. But again, I don't want to spend a ton of time here. Just want to talk kind of in broad strokes about who we are. So here is our mission and values. I will read our mission statement because I do think it is beneficial. The Justice, Care, and Opportunities Department cultivates a person-centered, coordinated continuum of care for vulnerable justice-impacted individuals and their communities. By leading collaborative system improvement efforts, we focus on prevention, diversion, and reentry to achieve community safety, well-being, and equitable justice. And what I want to focus on here is just a couple of things to note. We serve 18 and over, justice involved, justice impacted. We also serve other system involved folks, so former foster youth, and veterans as well. And I want to key in on a couple of things because you're going to see a lot of information about all of the things that we do. I want to categorize them sort of in this prevention diversion space, reentry, and then the third major thing that we do that many of you know is we do a ton of capacity building work through our Care First community investment. So we administer over $300 million in Care First grants and care grants through Care First community investment, which is sort of the embodiment of Measure K that many of you are familiar with. And then we also run an incubation academy where small nonprofit organizations can apply and go through 12 weeks of training in a smaller cohort. With a smaller cohort. And it basically gives you ongoing training, mentoring, coaching, so that you can be on a little bit firmer footing as an organization. And we've talked with some folks about some ideas about how we can enhance the incubation path as well. And even specifically how we can modify some things to benefit the city of Long Beach specifically. So I just want to focus on those three areas: prevention and diversion. We'll talk about a lot of services in that space. We'll talk about some of the reentry services that we provide, and then we can also talk about some of the capacity building. I'm going to skip over some of this stuff, which is why QR code is essential, so you can go back and read through it. And again, you have questions in your reading or as I go, please just pop your hand up and we'll address it then. Thanks. So we've only been in department just under 3 years, so we have not been around for very long at all. We, I think, are the youngest county department, if you don't count the new housing department that's about to kick off January 1. We have about 124 staff. The department started with like 5. So it was Judge Armstead, my boss, and like 5 people in her office planning all the things. I've been with the department about 18 months, and I think we've onboarded probably between 35 and 50 people just in that short amount of time. And so we're growing as our services expand and as we continue to support some of our community-based settlements. 600 contracts managed by JCOD and our third-party administrators. So we have a third-party administrator for the Care First grants, and that's over 425 grantees that are receiving grants through that process right now. We have access to 1,000 beds, and then there's some other numbers here. We'll get people. So this is our Navigation Connection Center. This might be, well, this is certainly one of the major things that we want you to leave here. We want you to leave with this information today about our Justice Connect Support Center. This is our call center, 1-833-522-5263, 1-833 LAC-JCOD. We have a bunch of contract staff who are there 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Any justice impacted, any justice involved person who needs a ride, who needs a bed, who needs a job, a referral to workforce services, and call this number, we're going to hook them up. We'll see some numbers on this, I think, later on. Oh, it's here. Just kidding. Sorry. Over 32,000 folks served. This was stood up by the judge. The judge had this idea. Hey, we need to get this Justice Connect Support Center stood up. Did it very, very quickly. In a couple of months, we had this call center stood up. We've been able to utilize some contract staff to assist with us. We've already helped over 32,000 folks through the call center. The primary area where we serve folks there is just transportation. Folks need a ride to a bed, they need a ride to services, they need a ride to a port, they need a ride from home someplace else or to home, and we're able to provide. Going back to the support center, that's one major kind of referral pathway for us into our other services. Another major referral pathway to us is through our through our court-based navigators. So part of our county charter, when we were set up as a department, was that we were to stand up independent pretrial services. So this was supposed to be different than what probation does for folks. And it's very specifically service-oriented. So we are in 3 courthouses at the moment. We launched our court pilot many months back. We just recently launched Compton and Lancaster. So we're in those 3 courts, and we're seeking to expand to Long Beach and elsewhere. Basically, what we have is folks who are wearing these same purple shirts that you see our team wearing today that are posted up outside the court to provide people with services. And we have regular meetings with our justice partners. DA's office, public defender, alternate public defender, as well as the bench officers who are aware of what services are being provided in their courthouses and their programs. And they can refer people right outside to our folks who are able to go through public services. So this has been a great service so far, and we're seeking to expand this. Really, we want to go countywide. That's really what the board wants. And resources being no issue, resources are an issue. We would be expanded into several more courthouses. I won't spend too much time here. This is an app that we did create, Care Connect app. This is for service providers to be entered into. The only reason I won't spend too much time here is this is still kind of this is still growing and being built out. But this was essentially the theory, or the idea behind this rather, is like a hotels.com, but for supportive services for justice and impact to people. We've built it and we're handing it off to the county information office. So that we can have a more centralized hub and bring in other county departments, so there can be more robust services in the app. So more to come. I'll run through some of our services that we are providing. I'm not going to get into too much data, but I just want to kind of let you guys know what's here. This is our LA County Training Center. Super excited about this. This is in Calabasas. This is an old probation camp that we converted into a residential vocational training center. We are about to graduate our second firefighting cohort. They are all female, and they are being trained in wildland fire. LA County Fire is providing that training to our cadets right now. They're also getting trained in EMT and working towards their certifications in EMT. In about a month, we're going to launch our first all-female instruction cohort up at this site, which is super exciting. I mean, this has been a wonderful program. This has been it's been incredible to see. Some of the women that we have right now came straight from CDCR, so they came straight from one of the incarcerated firefighter camps, came straight to this site to come train with us so that they can get hired on as wildland firefighters with CAL FIRE. We're working on a referral pathway and an employment pathway with LA County Fire. So this is something that we're super proud of. And this is our jcod care management services. So this was formerly Reentry intensive case management services. This is kind of our this really is what it says. This is kind of our care support services for folks. These are our sort of wraparound services that we provide. We work with 24 contract providers. Do we have any JCM or ICMS providers in the house by chance? See, very small hand. Thank you. But this is actually our biggest service. So since inception, and the program started in 2018 before jcod was a department, we've served over 43,000 people in this service, and we serve roughly about 8,000 a year in this service, and it's wonderful. It's all kinds of support that people need. If they need a ride to the doctor, if they need mental health referral, if they need any of that stuff, we're working through our providers to get those services in place. I didn't mention this exactly at the top, and forgive me. We at jcod do very little direct service. Most of what we do is actually contracted through community-based organizations. And so the funding that we receive pays for our staff, certainly, but most of the funding that we receive and most of the work that we do is through you all, right? It is through community-based organizations. It is through folks who really are on the front line. Many of whom have been providing this work decades and decades, limited resources, and we're trying to help people get better stood up so you all can resources. Next slide. jcod Stop. So this is a housing program. This is actually an off-ramp from jail. This is one of the few programs that we know for sure as like a direct connection to decarceration. If you're eligible for this program, you can go to the judge and say, hey, instead of this person finishing out their sentence in jail, why don't we put them in stop bed? To supportive services. There's quite a few beds, 164 unique placements you see here, 399 referrals up to this point. It takes a little bit of work because we got to go into jail and screen people and do all that. Imagine the amount of work that goes into that. But this program is wonderful because it is actually, we go to the judge, like I said, and say, hey, let's get this person out of jail. So let's stop. Warm landing place. We're super excited about this. This is a very small picture of what this thing looks like right now. The judge walks this is directly across the street from Ed Central Kid. And she and a team kind of walked through this area and had a vision for basically purchasing like a triage center outside. And trying to figure out if there was any land or space that we could purchase and convert it into something hopeful, something where people can go and get a bed. And this is the concept, the conceptual design that we worked on right now through an architect. So this is what warm landing place will look like. So we're going to take that one-story terrible failed bonds building. It's gross. I mean, it's been closed for a very long time. We're going to convert it into a 3-story site. You can go to the next slide, Amy. And this is quick. So you'll have, this is Vicness, Men's Central Jails, like where I'm standing. You have an entry point here. Again, services on the first floor, kitchen. Anybody just needs to come in quick and get a meal. All the way up to and including beds on the top. So we'll have 14 triage beds here. Short-term stay beds. We also are contracted with another organization who has 29 beds a little bit down the road for folks that need a longer stay. And then they kind of can feed into our continuum of beds. So they go from emergency housing to interim housing and hopefully permanent supportive. But this is, we're really, really excited about this. Some of our team leading the effort is here. Back if you have questions about one landing place. Right now we have a table that's set up outside of IRC. So where folks are released. And right now they're just providing services and referrals. We placed a bunch of people in beds already, which is really exciting. In like Ronnie, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, just kidding. In 3 weeks, we're gonna have a trailer that's on the street right outside the jail. So on the other side of the street right here, there's gonna be a trailer. We're working with the sheriff. Actually, it's been a wonderful partner in this, because for them, it's like, we love to get folks out. We would love to get them in services so they don't come back. And so the trailer here will be a little bit of like a step up. We'll have some providers in that space working with us. Again, we're triaging folks. Hey, what do you need? Right? You need a job referral to the house. What do you need? Like, we're gonna grow. So again, this is conceptual at this point. In fact, there was a pre-meeting today for the builders who we're going to contract with to get all this built out. So we should have a builder on a battery on the cameras on track like in the next couple of weeks. That's what we're excited. Next slide. I'm just talking too long, so I'm going to try to hurry up. Sector, this is our workforce. This is our major workforce program. You see there's some wonderful numbers here. I think Joe told me that 8 distinct programs today. I think we have 8 distinct programs. This is actually the area where we're probably growing the most. So we had a really good call with Metro today. Metro wants to partner with us on several things because we have the Olympics coming up, World Cup will be before that. All kinds of events are coming to Los Angeles, right, to the city. And we need people to work at these events. And we have people with jobs, right? So we're trying to connect those dots for folks. All of our employment programs come with supportive services. They also come with stipend, because we can't do like free apprenticeships or internships, right? Unfortunately, our folks need to get paid. And so we give them a stipend, we give them supportive services while they're training. In fact, one of our partners this year. So if you have more questions, you can ask the gentleman there. Thanks for coming. That sector. X. More numbers. Oh yeah, those are the sectors. Sorry. Power. This is a housing provider. This is specifically for women. So these, again, just like our workforce programs, all of our housing programs also come with supportive services as well. So everybody who's in a lot of our housing providers actually work directly with our JCN providers. We're providing those services, those care management services to folks who are in our housing. So it's not just a bed. It comes with all of the support that goes with. So that's Power. Rapid diversion program. This is another court-based service. And this one is if you qualify through a particular penal code section, you go through this program with supportive services. If you work the program, your case is dismissed. Completely off the record. And we just recently crossed over the 1,000 graduation mark. This program's amazing. And this number here, we're super duper proud of. 91% of graduates have not had an criminal case found. So our recidivism rates are really big.
Elaborate.
This program, RDP? Sure. So we're in 7 courthouses. And basically we have a community-based provider who's, we have 3, I think, who are partnered with us in those 7 courthouses. This is a program that we're seeking to expand as well. And providers work with you, provide you with supportive services. If you work through the steps, it's a lengthy program, but if you work through the steps and do all the things that basically the judge is expecting of you, your case is totally dismissed. It's 18 and up.
I have a question.
Yes.
That's your recidivism number for those who not recidivism. Do you have recidivism stats for all the other programs? Because for me, that's how I would judge the effectiveness of what you all know.
We do have them for some of the programs. You go back to sector. Go back to the slides.
Where you've actually reduced or decreased the recidivism rate based on whatever use stats that you have. I guess that's for LA, the county of LA. So
Correct.
I certainly would say, first of all, what is the recidivism rate for justice impacted people here in Long Beach? And then use that as benchmark for we're looking at performance percentages in terms of how do we go and reduce that number based on your program or your resource center, you know, the various services that you have to know that what you're doing is effective for you.
It's a wonderful question. So we do have those rates for specific programs. Unfortunately, some of the things that we're doing are so new that we haven't had a chance to really evaluate all of the data and come up with recidivism rates for all of our programs.
But I'm taking down your questions. I mean, we're gonna have a robust Q&A for sure in a second,
Okay.
but I definitely am writing them all on the walls, and we will make sure that we follow up with you as well. For anything that we cannot
I have
answer.
the programs that you've been working. So I mean, this is not just for that per se, but
Sure.
just as a general concept of what works. We want to put on the table here what works. What you're determining that, you know, effective, not in a, you know, one isolated here program. But in terms of panoply of services that you buy and the work that you have been engaged in, you know, over this period of time, what are your recidivism rates?
Yeah, it's a wonderful question. And again, we've had third-party evaluators look at our sector program and our RDP programs. So you saw the number for RDP at 9%, right? And then for sector, it's 5%. So folks that have come through this program, the recidivism rate is actually 5%. So 95% of the folks that have come through not recidivating in at least 2 years out. Yeah. So again, because it's new, we have to still evaluate the data and to be able to.
Thank you.
It's a great question. Thank you. Nice size. Yeah, let's see. This is our pretrial release evaluation program. So we've had 990 folks released conditionally from jail to housing this program over the years. And this is one where we're taking a look at some of the program design here and see if we cannot combine this with some of the other services that we have already. I think that's true for the next one too. I want to make sure we get to your question discussion. Here's another housing program that we provide, and again, as I shared, all of our housing programs come with supportive services as well. Next slide. This is our interim housing program. We have a total of 195 beds. Next slide. Breaking barrier. This is really more permanent supportive housing. I think folks know about breaking barriers. Next slide. Next slide. We mentioned incubation accounting. A couple weeks ago, we've launched 10 cohorts. 249 different spending organizations. And those graduates have received more than $72 million in combined capacity building grants and CFCI care grants. So we know that folks that are coming through that program are moving forward and able to get some other grants as well to sustain what they're building. And then we mentioned CFCI as well. So there's been more than $350 million allocated to, I think at last count was 424 individual programs that receive funding. And there are more grants forthcoming in the next few months. This is something that will make sure we do a really good job of communicating with folks about when those grant applications come live, so that your organizations might be able to apply. And if you've already received the CFCI grant, you're still eligible to apply as well. So this is coming up in the next few months. We're really excited about that. Has anybody ever been a part of the JII panel discussion? So this is our justice impacted panel. I feel like I should have guessed it. You want to talk about JII?
Yeah, so we have a JI panel, Justice Impacted Individuals panel, that is comprised of all individuals who have been system impacted. And basically we meet with them about different subjects that JCOD is either thinking about doing, our programs or our messaging. And we ask them directly if they think it's a good idea, what can we do better, what are we doing right? Because we don't want to just tell people, this is what we're offering, take it or leave it. We want to hear from people who have lived experience, and oftentimes these people are still serving the justice impacted community and through various community-based organizations. So basically, we get feedback from them about what we can be doing better and what we're doing right, because we want to build this in collaboration with the people who are receiving the services.
Yes.
And we meet once a month. And if you are someone who's system impacted, or if you know someone, you can also send an email to the PIO email address, pio@jcod.lacounty.gov, and you and I can have a conversation and see if it might be a good fit for you to be part of that panel.
And one of the things I'll note, you all saw the beautiful picture of the conceptual design for Warren Landing Place. Our architect actually went and met with the JI panel to get feedback on a lot of the themes that you'll see in the conceptual design for that space come directly from our justice impacted, justice involved folks who provided feedback and things like that. So it's been a great process for us. It really is it's a wonderful place for us to take some of our concepts and some of our ideas, like we're doing today, right? Just kind of having a conversation with folks about what we do better. Thank you. I would like to welcome Ms. Lamas.
Thank you for that, Adam. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lexis Yamas. I am the Reentry Coordinator for the City of Long Beach, specifically in the Department of Health and Human Services. And I help to oversee a Long Beach Reentry Advisory Committee, and where I see several members that are in the room today. I just wanted to share that I know a lot of you have seen on the flyers and the convening information about the partnership that the Department of Health has with JCOD. What it is really is in our discussion on our Long Beach Reentry Advisory Committee, they came and they spoke to our committee about services specifically that Long Beach needs. And the advisory committee advised them that they need to talk to the community here in Long Beach, because Long Beach knows what Long Beach needs. And that's what this convening is about. That's the partnership that we have with them, is to set a place where they can come and hear back from you, the community of Long Beach, and what the needs are here in Long Beach. So I just wanted to thank all of you all for coming out. Our advisory committee meets once a month to talk about everything reentry that is needed in Long Beach. And we have been having community forums once a quarter. We have one here. The last one we had in July was here to hear back from people who have been incarcerated or who have been just as involved, to hear what the needs are that you specifically have in coming back here to Long Beach. So once again, I just want to thank everybody for coming here and to let you know that we really are trying to hear back from you as community. And that's our part in this as the city, is to make sure that if people are trying to come and bring services to Long Beach, that they hear from Long Beach. Thank you. Questions for me? Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just real quick. What, either how many or what percentage of the programs that were outlined on this presentation either exist in Long Beach area today, or what percentage of them?
I don't have that answer because I'm not with JCOD, and this is not our presentation at all for the city of Long Beach. This is JCOD informing Long Beach of what their services are. Long Beach, we are developing more services because we know that there are service providers here in Long Beach that are doing reentry work, and we have been pulling together those service providers. We had 2 weeks ago Service Providers Networking event here for Long Beach. This is the county's project. We are just in partnership, just means that our advisory committee is advising them specifically on what the needs of the communities is. So I would have to defer to JCOD to answer that.
We do have, if you go through the slide deck, there are certain things that will call out if they're only in specific locations. Otherwise, they're open to and available to everybody. So there's a couple, like the pretrial court navigators, we don't have a presence in Long Beach yet, but we're expanding. But we have housing providers, workforce providers, all of them. So, and I do want to say, we so appreciate the relationship with the city, with the Reentry Advisory Committee. It's been super helpful to have as many conversations as possible. Honestly, this is why we're here today, to just kind of continue the conversation that we've been having. That's been kind of pulled together and brokered by the city, and to make sure that we're reaching out as often as we possibly can. So we definitely really appreciate it. There's a question over
But
here.
I also want to ask you this quickly, for our justice care management program, which we can definitely talk more about led by Robert Robinson. We have a handful of providers that are servicing. So let's just talk about this well. So some of people have providers that are currently here.
Through our justice care management program, we do have community-based organizations that are here in Long Beach providing services.
Yeah, my concern is that, even in facilitating the relationship between the health department and JCOD, and we've able to facilitate from the community perspective with that, we sit in those organizations, those programs. I don't have an organization or program, but I'm working on just about 80 organizations or programs in the city. And that's my main concern, whether many other communities concerned, is from the city, that we center and we empower those organizations. And that Ms. Rhonda said, we already doing the work now with the Reentry County, so we've been doing this work. So we continue to empower and uplift those organizations, those individuals that are doing the work from this city. Because what I've discovered is doing this work for many years, that it becomes a hustle and a money grab for many people to come in. And we have, like I said, we have the expertise and the experience, and this is nothing new. As my elder Dr. Hodge could tell, they had the entry program to go back 20 years in the city, but we didn't have the support. So we had to continue to move this thing forward on a grassroots level. So that's really my concern, and everyone else is that we center and become first.
Thank you for that. I would love to talk to you after this.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to piggyback on what Ms. remarks, and I don't want to interrupt the presentation, but since you called this meeting for the purposes of gathering input in order to know how to shape what you're doing for Long Beach. So I think what I have to say is it correlates what you're saying and aligns with why you're here.
Hey, hold on, let me give you the microphone. I think everyone around here would love to hear what you're saying. We want your voices to be heard, not heard. Not heard.
All right, so you already answered one of my questions, which was regard to the recidivism. Right, and that is data that I believe that we need in this community. We need to know in Long Beach, what is the recidivism rate for Black impacted community members? You have that data, we need that, we need to know that, so that we can know how to target those individuals that need additional support that they may not be able to get going on with their like whatever. The other part is the timing of it. I heard someone say that this is a jcod project, but there was no outreach in this community about this meeting. I'm not gonna ask anybody to raise their hands and say, you know, from around here, I'm not gonna do that. I know that to be because I didn't get the information until Thursday, and this meeting was today. So that's problematic. You want community input, you're gonna broadly broadcast that desire to have people come the way that you do everything that you want people to come to. Unless you want us to come, the basic work stamp already signed. The other point is the time, 4 o'clock to 5:30. Everybody with a purple t-shirt on, or others that are here, you're on the company payroll. These are your work hours. Right? Anybody outside of that, they had to make the time to be here, could not be here, right? And so you're still not getting the community input that you need. So I'm here really, it's concerned because this is a trust issue and it's an integrity issue, right? And we have those concerns and our concerns are not unfounded. We're not interested in a hierarchical relationship. It is a partnership, mama on mama. When you come to Long Beach, it is that you need to interact with Long Beach. Those communities that are impacted by the services that you are presenting. The third point is that I don't believe, just based on what I said in terms of my first and second point, that you have Brother Robinson on your team from the inception in bringing this matter to Long Beach, because if you did, the time would be different and the outreach to the community would be different. Mr. Robinson is from this city. I worked with his father with BBC back in 2007 when we first started interjecting the whole concept of reentry in the city of Long Beach. Was afraid of it, right? So we got generational people that have experience, that have competence, that is fully capable to do what we need to do. But if you're gonna bring something to this town, we need Brother Robinson to be in a part of it as an integral personnel for your company or for the county into Long Beach, because I'm going by what your flyer said. You want to shape this for Long Beach. So if we're going to shape this for Long Beach, we need Robert Robinson as our primary liaison between jcod and the city, so that next time that you come here, you're not under advertising you're coming here, and you're holding it at a time when the community that is most affected by what we're talking about can be here, because that's not the case. It's not. And so it is, a strong, not so much, it's just a strong statement for you to understand. We don't like people when their spectrum of being colonized. We are partners. We are taxpayers. We're property owners. We're voters. And all the money that you put up there is because we're contributing to it. And we don't want Long Beach to continue treated like a redheaded stepchild. That or some crazy person that's up in the, London Tower. We are integral because our fathers and our brothers and our sons and our cousins and our friends have been impacted going back to the war on drugs and how it had devastated our community. But whatever comes out of it, we don't get much of it. Then I'm looking at you. So I thank you for your time in the listening, and tell by your eye, your attention, your eyeballs. Attention, because I need you to. I need you to understand, not many people come here to speak. It is talking about the black grassroots now. This is not black and, it's black. I was at Innocence Project last week. OC was in the company of 4 black men whose lives were thrown away when they were 17 and 18 years old. They were exonerated, wrongfully convicted. 4 of them spent 75 years behind bars for something that they did not do. They need some of these services from a mental health standpoint. You follow me? So I'm not on the Reentry advisement, but I shouldn't have to be in order to learn what's going on.
Right.
Am I correct?
Yes.
So if the city is a partner, you know that you should make sure that you're informed. Nobody is off the hook. If your name is on it, we're holding you accountable. Right? So thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm glad you're here.
Some of that, first of all, thank you for that. This is the kind of dialogue that I love to have at our JI panels, and that I'm sure about it. Absolutely. My brother Trey back there came to his first one last month, and that's why I said up there, if you think you're a good fit for the panel, please send an email and you and I can have a conversation. I like that my panelists don't hold punches, because we're not here to have you tell us what we want to hear. We're here to get the real that you just said. And so you said you found out about this on Thursday. When did we put this out the first time? Wednesday? And so just so you know, like, we don't have this big sprawling operation in jcod, right? Adam outlined for you that we started with 5 employees, and now we have about 124. It's everything. That's communications, that's program staff, all the programs that you've seen, all the staff that we have is responsible for all that. So we don't go, when we do an event in any location, we don't go to that location and pass out flyers. And I'm glad to hear that you want Robert Robinson. Robert, if you just put it for us, we appreciate that, because we could use the help. So, I mean, well, I appreciate the demand, and I'll bring that to Robert himself. I'm not sure if you told him. So, yeah, I'm not invalidating anything. I'm just saying.
We're engaged, we're talking to jcod, but even though we're at the table, coming out of our city, when you talk about Hopkins, you talk about him, he's one of the jewels of our city. That's right. His father started the gang here. His cousin was from opposite gang, but he grew up around it, but he did gang bang. He grew up to get a degree, but he could have took that follower spirit and joined that. So when we talk about what we want to see out of our community, we look at that. That's what they so. But and had we not really called them, not even told you guys to bring them to the engagement that we were having with you all, you guys would have excluded them.
Listen, so listen, so. Okay.
But he wasn't excluded. What I'm saying is, when we were having those talks, you weren't there, but he wasn't in those calls. How you gonna have a call talk about loans and he's not there?
But
It's just period.
and as soon as you told us that,
But he should have been there.
he's been at every meeting.
But
I wasn't here before.
But before we brought him there, he should have already been there.
Nobody from our team was excluded.
But he was excluded. He had the ability to bring him to the table. And that's what we're talking about.
He's here.
Okay, well, we appreciate that. Let me just back up a little bit. This is what happens at community meetings. So everything that everybody is saying is valid. But as someone who has worked with Robert over the past almost year, everything that everyone's saying is right. Robert is definitely a jewel in this community. But as someone who works closely with him, this project initially was handed to someone else. Why that is, I don't know. That predates my time on this project and Adam. But I can tell you that when Robert and I started talking about this project when it was handed to me. He has maybe not been on all the calls. He has been working with me and Sept behind the scenes, pushing for community outreach. So if you all really want to know why this gathering has truly happened, it's because of Robert, who designed a community outreach plan several months ago before this even happened. So I want you all to know he's not excluded. As someone who works directly with him every day, he's very much a part of this process. He's also very busy. He oversees one of JCOD's largest, if not the largest program at JCOD. I'm not sure if you all knew that, but he works with over 24, 25 plus community-based organizations, and he leads a team. And so he does all of that and still provides assistance with D.O.O.R.S. He is not excluded, Lou. Just so you know. Yes.
And that's what I was getting ready to say too, is that like Robert oversees programs throughout LA County. And so as much as he would, I'm sure, love to be focusing all this time on Long Beach, he's helping the whole county. And so he's an amazing person and great at what he does, and we need him to help everybody too. And we're here in Long Beach because we're trying to expand our services and also understand JCOD is 3 years old. We don't have unlimited funding. We wish we could expand to all areas of the county at the same time and have brick and mortar locations at the same time. But that's not how it works. Our funding is always being cut. And so we're trying to, that's one of the reasons why we're here, is to prove this. Listen, we need to be more in Long Beach. And so we're trying to be here more. And so I just want y'all to hear that. I appreciate the passion and all that, but we're trying to work with you and bring more stuff here where it's not the opposite. Now let's get back to our presentation. All right.
Woo, as someone who believes in wellness, can the room take a collective breath with me, please? In through your nose. Out through your mouth. I ain't hear nobody breathe. Breathe in through your nose. Thank you guys so much. Truly, this is why, as Avi and my colleagues have said, this is exactly why we want to be in these spaces. I also want to take the time to remind the room that we very much understand that we are guests in your home, and do not take that lightly. We are at the very beginning, the inception of our outreach out here. You have mentioned that there is room to improve. We're saying yes, and guide us with you, invite us in, bring us into your home, because we are here saying, hey, we're here to help. What do you need? We also are very informed of the historical divestment that has happened, not just in Long Beach, but across Los Angeles County as a whole. I'm a third generation Angelino. And my brother, who was formerly incarcerated, he spent 13 years inside. He got 10 extra years as gang enhancement, which I had 10 years to his charge, and he was gone for a long time. And I spent a lot of time and working to prepare for the moment that he did come home. And these are the spaces that have fueled me, that give me purpose. And I know that I am not alone in that, with my colleagues and also with our city partners. I know the word partnership has been thrown around a lot. If I could just at least give an example of what we did when we came to the Long Beach Reentry Advisory Council, it was Teresa and Lexus who said, what are those contracts? Is there anything in those contracts that encourage, that require at least a 30% investment into smaller community-based organizations? Because as government entities, they understand that our relationship with any community-based organization starts at a contractual, not even desire. We got audits, we got things for days, we got contracts for grants departments, fiscals, budgets, but they were the ones who said, what do those contracts look like? What is the language, in addition to the funds, in addition to additional program minute details? That's the type of partnership that we're talking about. We are here on an informatory basis. We are here truly with arms open. What do we need to know? This is not the first nor the last time that you are going to see us. We started
like, it was the forum that was here, was it 2 months ago? When we first started to show up in purple polos, and before that, Oscar and Robert have been in these spaces. I know we were at it was in college. We've been in reentry resource fairs. We are at the very beginning stages. I love James so much. James, I remember from the Incubation Academy, the first second, because you called us and cussed us out and said, why aren't we in this cohort? If you coming in, if you talking about LA County and talking about building up community-based organizations, I can list 5 right now, and I know you're on boards and in leadership positions across. So thank you. Your passion is needed. I told you in this corner, I said, bring it. We are here. So please, just as I get into doors, I know that get to what you was gonna say. I just want to let you guys know that we are guests and we know that. And thank you for allowing us. To kick off D.O.O.R.S. We are really excited about the D.O.O.R.S program because this will be our first official entry point into the Long Beach community. D.O.O.R.S stands for Developing Opportunities and Offering Reentry Solutions. We have 2 physical locations, one in South LA, right there at the corner of Vermont and King, right next door to USC. If y'all know that corner where that Carl's Jr. is, the block is hot. But that's exactly why we are situated there. We also have our secondary location in the Antelope Valley. I believe it's right off of Measure J. Antelope Valley, another resource there. Avenue J, not Measure J. I'm confusing my histories. Antelope Valley, another resource desert that also continuously gets overlooked and divested because not only are they a resource desert, they're an actual desert. So those are the 2 locations. We are coming to Long Beach with the knowledge of how these 2 offices are functioning. Later on, you will see some slides that depict our demographics. We love data and would love to continue. We have these sticky notes on the side. Would love to continue how to improve how we're communicating our success to the community. So our boxes and bubbles, we love our stats. But I know working with Sam Lewis, who's also, he's with jcod, helping out with jcod, hanging out these days, who's the leader of ARC, he came in and saying like, hey, I don't know if you're talking right to the community. Community wants to know about dollars. You see Justin and Rosie here from Chrysalis. They are our employment providers at our LA office. They have stats not listed here about 6 percentage is of jobs held 6 months post-hire by an individual. You understand jcod is 3 years young. It takes a while to get those stats, but they have them, they're not displayed, but that's the type of information that we're collecting per Sam's request. I mentioned that because he was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. If all these folks happen to get minimum wage jobs, and if we know the percentage of people who are retaining employment, that translates to a couple million of dollars in investment. So that means formerly incarcerated individuals are actually giving millions back to their community, far outweighing the cost it takes to incarcerate them in the first place. So I just take a minute to highlight that, yes, we have little bubbles. Please continue to work with us, touch anyone with the purple bolo. If you want to see continued facts, if you have recommendations on how we can display this information better, please let us know. But sorry, one of the things, because I'm going fast, one of the things that is unique about D.O.O.R.S, it is a one-stop shop reentry center for system impacted people, but also the general public as a whole. You or nor a family member needs to be system impacted to benefit from our facilities. You in one place, because we have been in many places, be like, I got out, I gotta go this place for health, I gotta go this place for mental health, I gotta go to this place to go get my kids back. In one place, you can get employment support, housing, substance use, education, legal aid. Black was in the building. Hello, Jim. Social skills, family reunification, community outreach. I know we also have healing through the arts. We also have Department of Military and Veteran Affairs services that prioritize veterans. And this is the exact type of resources we would like to bring to Long Beach. You can go to the next slide. Oh, okay, well, we go back to my last slide. Sorry, I think we took out the stats.
I think there is 2 more slides now.
Keep going.
Advance to the next slide.
Okay, let me take a step back because I started getting in a little bit deep. First, let me qualify and introduce our team. You have met Adam, Ronnie, our other division directors here in the corner, standing next to Tanisha. We have Brian, Emery, and Kenya. They hold it down at the LA office. We have Gabby, Jaslyn, and Shelly, who are AV office. And then there's me, and Long. What you don't see pictured here, we wanted to be a little more transparent about our faces, who we are. But what you don't see here is our comms team. What you don't see here is Robert, who was in communication with us at least once a week. I know we're in your inbox fairly often. What you don't see here is also Oscar and the other dozens of folks who are from Long Beach, who are internally working to better our outreach here and to better the services that we are still in the development planning stage to bring to here. So I just wanted to highlight some of those.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes, ma'am.
Have Oscar and Robert flanking you.
And
Flanking you. They're
Oh.
on either side of your picture. Go back
Yes.
to the picture.
I was right here.
Have them on either side. What shows Long Beach present.
Yes, and on the next slide, they will be right there. I'm gonna need to shine Robert's head a little bit, but his picture will be up there. So go ahead, Max.
Thank you.
So this is what we envision for our introduction to Long Beach. Again, I just want to highlight that the really positive sell about D.O.O.R.S is you can get all of these services in one area. This is our LA location. It is one of our most beautiful offices. This does not look like a county building. I know Adam talked about Warm Landing Place coming. We have learned a lot just functionally, what makes people feel safe, what makes people feel heard. One of the most awesome things about, I think, our LA location is we host family monitored visits directly at our sites. Also working with DCFS to become a certified family monitored visit, but we have social workers on our staff. So that's dads, that's moms who have been separated from their kids, who are actively trying to work to get them back in conjunction with the family reunification provider that we have on staff. We also have LAFLA, who brings additional legal services, who often supports these cases. Again, I'm gonna highlight some of the services I kind of ran down there: housing, employment, legal, education. A part of education is GED and high school diploma classes. I know we partner in LA and in Antelope Valley with, thank you, with 5 Keys. And 5 Keys is one of the only, I think, 2 providers who still does education inside the jails. And also at our LA site, 5 Keys across the state. The LA location graduates the most individuals per year from any other 5 Keys location. And that's often system impacted individuals. That's folks who came originally looking for a job. They were told that they didn't have a high school diploma or a GED. They got sent literally across the aisle, finished their classes in a couple months, came back, got a job. We have a lot of success stories like that and would love to continue to share that. We have case management services through our family reunification provider, visual arts, community outreach engagement, investment workforce development, Department of Mental Health, Department of Public Social Services. So that's getting your ID card, that's getting your birth certificate, things of that nature. And then also one of the unique things about our LA County is that we are co-located with LA County Probation. So oftentimes when people are coming in to check in with their parole officer or probation officer, they're like, hey, yo, why haven't you gotten a job? We've been talking about this for months. Let me take you upstairs where not only you can get a job, but you can also get help with housing, and so forth, these services.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
Financial literacy. I don't see that this.
Financial literacy is pending, and I can actually get really excited about that because we are in the process of connecting with Crystal Stairs to provide free pipeline to free childcare and childcare stipends. And Crystal Stairs is connecting us with Haven Neighborhood Services. Erica Torres, she actually went through the Incubation Academy as well. and they provide financial literacy training. So it's not active yet, but it is in the process of being developed per community.
Sorry, real quick, Savannah, real quick. Robert, what were you and I just messaging about? Robert, what were you and I just messaging about the last couple of days?
Regards to the conversation that I had with that emo bank that wants to partner with us. In the past, we have collaborated with More States to provide patient workshops, different service providers, that part. So definitely something that's big on the radar, especially for myself and all of our folks. That we extend this opportunity, of course, back to people, because that's one of the elements that cause this, right? Individuals that have so many different mental, right, emotional, challenges as it relates to finance, right? We know that in our community, in our household, we not have much conversation, right? So we definitely are working on that. Definitely are working on that to expand those type of services, across all of our programs.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, so just to reiterate, like, we are having these conversations, and you're talking about LA County departments, most of them which are over like 100 years old. JCOD is 3, not even 3. So we're still building this, and that's why we need this input. And the more you say stuff like that, it reiterates, yes, we need to build that into our programs more. But just so you know, like, we are talking about it, and me and Robert talked about this the other day. Let's let Savannah finish. I didn't want to cut her off, and then we'll get to our Q&A shortly.
But yes, just want to plug Haven Neighborhood Services. They offer a wide band of financial literacy, and I was just in a meeting on this past Friday about possibly collaborating and integrating into it. So stats, we love stats, we love numbers. This is particularly for the D.O.O.R.S program. And it's a little bit more in depth because, as I mentioned, we are basing our movement, our introduction into the Long Beach space based off how our other two offices are functioning. We serve primarily 60% male, 35% female. We know a lot of these folks are coming from the Antelope Valley, makes sense. We have an office out there, South LA, which makes sense. These are the spots, yes. We have the primary age groups, and we also know from our stats that we are serving primarily Black and Brown individuals, overwhelmingly so. You can also see that since the start of this program, this is just last fiscal year, the D.O.O.R.S site served about 3,000 individuals. So that would be from July 1st of 2024 to June 30th of this year. You can go to the next slide. More stats, more stats. We are tracking, you're asking how informed is our process. We are tracking per month how many clients get referred to a program. We're tracking the status of those referrals. You'll see on our website shortly, there are several pathways that a client can take, resulting in a case being created, canceled, declined, whether it's in progress, pending. That's a lot of jumbo for us to understand. But we would just like to highlight that we are actively, once a client is connected to our services, we are following their pathways and trying to make sure I think, who's on us? Justin, Gio, Rose, we are asking them monthly, how many people are you serving? And what are those outcomes? We are constantly refining our KPIs. We love our adjectives, key performance indicators, and it's based off of this information here. We can also see who's handling the referrals across our departments. Hello, Christmas, we see you. You can also see from our data, we're going to continue to go. We are entering Long Beach on a very limited scope. The three main services that we are going to be providing will be informed by this data. Next slide. So I also mentioned we're tracking months, we're tracking a breakdown of services. You can see that family services is really high, employment is really high, housing, folks inquiring about basic needs, also high. You could break it down by type, family services, that would mean that reunification within those family services are also being highly requested, meaning folks want their kids back. They're trying to get in a better position, whether that be employment wise, whether that be legal wise, to be able to get their kids back. Several are coming back and checking in. We are also connected with Invest, which is an LA County probation that primarily focuses on employing folks who are currently on parole. Folks who are requesting hygiene kits, that's something that's also unique. At these locations, we try to serve clients holistically. Anyone who comes in and inquires about a hygiene kit and a tap card, I believe they leave with you. I think that's it. So that was just D.O.O.R.S. We would like to open ourselves up for questions about any number of our programs. And we just want to say thank you for being here today. Okay.
And just really quickly, I know we're definitely mindful of time. We're not going anywhere though. I know the flyer said 5:30, but if this goes over, that is completely okay with us. But just really quickly, I know we've talked a lot already. We've heard some feedback. We put a lot of information. If anyone needs to take a break, by all means, please do that. We also have a lot of snacks and refreshments back there. I'm like that auntie at Thanksgiving, y'all not eating our food. So you gotta get back there, go eat the food. We have desserts, little pies and things of that nature. So by all means, please indulge in the snacks as well. And then we'll jump into the Q&A.
Sorry, I just want to clarify something real quickly. Please eat. We have the room until like 6, but if we need to go outside and continue conversation tonight, tomorrow, whatever, we're here to do that. I just want to really emphasize to folks, right now what we're talking about is virtual services. I know on the flyer there was some confusion about location, things like that. We want to work towards an eventual site here, but none of those conversations are solidified at all. So our beginning process will be virtual services in Long Beach. And then really the reason that we're continuing to engage you all is so that we're building out what exactly the service array will be for an eventual permanent site. So I just want to be really, really clear about that. We're not talking about a permanent site today or in the coming months. That is something that we will share with you all as it comes together. But I just want to be like abundantly clear and make sure there's no confusion there that we're talking about virtual services.
Okay, so I know there was a few hands that were already up. So what we'll do, we'll just count off and then by all means ask questions. So I got blue here, 1, here, 2. And wasn't there another one?
Yeah. Yes.
So blue, 2, Claude, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and to everyone else. So blue, we got you.
Yeah, I just want to close with a statement, and I would encourage and urge and hope that you all would center the programs from Long Beach. And I would say that Ms. Lamas and her staff, they've been very creative, uplifting and empowering organizations, not the big organizations, but the small organizations in the city, to where they've came out with grants to where big organizations have to partner up with the small things. So I'm saying that at the least, but a bare minimum, if you do bring any entities in here that are not from the city, that you put a clause in that they do have to partner with the organizations that are already here centered doing the work. And Ms. Lamas can let you know how that goes, because they've been, like I said, they've been very creative in making sure that we uplift and empower all of the organizations that are doing the work. So I just want to leave it on that note that we keep everything community centered and driven from inside the community and not outside in. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Dana from Long Beach Black Workers Center. The Long Beach Black Workers Center is here, and we want to be a part of what jcod will be doing around for our residents. I couldn't see the slides very good, and I was curious if you know offhand the effectiveness of job retention with the Chrysalis Project and how many Black men they I see the majorities, but I get Black men and women, but how many Black people are employed through that through that project, and what kind of things are done to retain them, as well as are the jobs with protections?
I can answer. I also don't want to speak, just as I see you're standing. I don't want to speak on behalf of Chrysalis, but I can highlight the information that we see. Quick drive to just, the information that we see, which is one of their, most shining indicators, is percentages of jobs retained 6 months post-hire. That's broken down by social services, social enterprises. That's also broken down by jobs outside of their organization as well. I'm sure they can provide their demographics as well, but I know Justin's got the mic and he can share a little bit more about Chrysalis specifically. Yeah.
Hi, everyone, I'm Justin with Chrysalis. So for our retention, we track retention 6 months out. And right now, we're sitting at roughly 65% of our clients after they get a job. 6 months later, they still have a job. As far as our demographics, I don't. Thank you. As far as demographics that we serve, I don't have that off the top of my head, but if y'all come to me afterwards, I can definitely get that to you as well.
I'm curious if they're average sustaining wages.
Yeah, so the average hourly wage are at, as of right now, is 90 something an hour. And then more recently as well, we recently did a lateral program, which is a social services program. So it's where we train folks to go into the social services sector. And we had recently had the program, so there are 7 graduates, and 4 out of the 7 graduates got our job in the social services program recently.
Aaron, I want to, put a state, in this game, that the Long Beach Black Workers Center expects to be a part of this project because that double digit unemployment, and we're seeking support in changing that and turning that around. And we're very aware that many of our residents who are coming and incarcerated are in their ages of, what did you say, 25 to 44, 25 to 33, and then 34 to 44, I believe. And so I just want to introduce myself and let you know that there's a lot of support in this room around what we're doing and we're here for.
Thank you.
I just wanted to add also, thank you for that question. Hi, my name is Rosie. I am the director of reentry for Chrysalis. So the numbers he gave you is for Chrysalis as a whole, but my team is specifically reentry, and our wages are at about $21 an hour, and we are partnered with, thank you, with Breaking Barriers. So not only are they getting employment through us, but they're getting housed with us on a subsidy. So it's all about reentry. It's all about people of color. It's all about, let's get them back out there. Let's get them jobs. Let's get them housed. And like Justin said, we started the lateral program, which is really important to me because the majority of my team has lived experience, because how can we help you if we don't know what you've been through, right? So I'm the reentry person over here, and we can definitely talk, because whether Chrysalis does it or you do it, the point is to get these people employed, right?
Absolutely. And, last thing I wanted to ask, and for the benefit of the group, do employment services include job readiness skills?
Yes, yeah, and for my program, we did it specifically for reentry. So Chrysalis has 4 classes that clients go through. So my team is 1 workshop. That's 2.5 hours, because we know that people that are reentering, they have blackouts. They have, all these things that you have to accommodate when you get them in and out quickly.
And then we have 3 here, quad, 4, then.
Is that right here?
Yes. These 2.
All right, I got a question. All the data you did any data for Long Beach, that you come here, that what there was data for Long Beach specifically. One of the committee members was talking about recidivism and the justice impact that people that's returning to the community. You guys have those numbers for us?
No, so the numbers that you saw were from the D.O.O.R.S location in
Rest
Los
County.
Angeles. Yeah, and we are using that to base and anticipate, but we don't have those numbers yet.
Okay, now, with that approach, what approach does jcod have with direct service providing to the community, right? So is it a whole person-centered approach that you guys are gonna have dealing with our justice impacting community? And if so, would that be similar to the structure that the state has, where grassroots deal with grassroots, community deals with community? Okay, that's the question. Is that gonna be what's gonna happen here with JCOD? Okay, yes.
Before Sam answers, I can highlight that one of them are still heavily in development. And these meetings here are being taken back and incorporated in those languages. So I can tell you what we're using in our existing programs. A lot of our community-based providers, and Robert and I can attest, they're trauma-informed, system impacted, and we encourage individuals to have system impacted people on their staff. So it's informed here as well. But we don't have it yet for Long Beach, but that is the intent based off what our existing programs are. And also, go ahead.
Okay. Well, if that's the intent, right, what do you guys have planned to bridge the gaps with the community-based organization and the contract requirements with JCOD? If you're gonna deal with grassroots organizations, who might not be contract ready at that level. But we're already providing services, have a connection with the community, and are able to have an impact.
You're asking about subcontract.
On that last point,
It could be a direct contract. It doesn't have to be subcontracting because the state allows direct contracting. They say you use Excel, Microsoft Word documents to just fill in the gap. But you guys, I haven't heard that here. I heard those who are people and deal with us. But you come to our town telling us that we have a problem. We ain't really come with the exact what the problem is. Say you're gonna fix it. And they sat down and said, okay, we'll help you fix it this way and accommodate the work that you want to think. Go to our academy, learn our ways, come back and contract with us like that. Well, by the time we do all that, they gonna be able to release so many individuals, and we gotta go through learning that when there's more than one way to skip that.
And that's one thing is that, like I said earlier, we wish that we could just jump out the gate and offer every service everywhere in every part of the county, but that's just not how the county works, you know what I mean? So we're the newest county department, and we showed you stats for other areas because our first location we opened in South LA, and so we have stats for that location. Our second location we opened in the Antelope Valley, so we have stats for that location. And our next location of D.O.O.R.S is going to be here in Long Beach. There are many other locations in LA County that would like a D.O.O.R.S location, but we're building our next one here in Long Beach. And so, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. You want to hear stats about Long Beach.
So I wanna know how many people are incarcerated, how many people are gonna be released the next year to 5 years? What plan does JCOD have on dealing with those people? How are they gonna deal with the community as well as the providers within the community that have specifically tailored programs for those individuals coming from those institutions? They have certain programs on the yard. Some places have electricians, some places have plumbing. They have different PIA, different prison authorities, because they contracted up working people and those people have skills. So there's a way to get the numbers. I just want to know, have you guys done that while you come here talking about this business? Because we already know such and such family come home. We've been doing this all. Such daddy, well, mama been doing this. We know this. We'll put them in this organization. If we turn around and get skipped on this situation right here, you guys have the resources because you guys have to come with the data to even sit down and talk to us about those things.
Well, that's why we come here in the spirit of collaboration. You know what I mean? We're not coming here telling you you have a problem. We're coming here saying, listen, we're offering these services, and this is a service that we're trying to add. And how can we serve you? How can we work together? So it's not about us telling you what to do, us telling you what we're gonna do. It's just we're trying to make this thing bigger, right? And
That would be a win, man. That would. As Dr. Holly said, the timing for this, I want to talk to a lot of people on the spot.
And so for the next time, and so that's one thing we want to hear today is what would be a good time for the next meeting? You know, how can we go and do the outreach that the lady over there mentioned that in the community, you know what I mean? So that's why we're here. But I'm sorry, go ahead, Sam.
Can I kind of restart y'all just a little bit? I want you to reimagine something just for a minute. We're talking about JCOD and D.O.O.R.S, but JCOD and D.O.O.R.S is like the umbrella, so to speak. So let's just say, hypothetically, fast forward, and I'm not saying this is gonna be the spot, but I'm just gonna say fast forward, D.O.O.R.S is here. And it's this building. JCOD is not providing services. it's the community-based organization that apply from Long Beach that will be providing those services. JCOD, they can build it. When the air conditioner went down on Vermont, guess who was held responsible? Not none of the community-based organization, it was JCOD, fix it and get that done. When parking needs to be done, JCOD, get that done. It's the employment specialists that are making sure people get jobs, family unification, making sure people are able to visit with their children, go to court and navigate court to get their children back. That's not JCOD. Those are the organizations that are contracted out of South LA or Antelope Valley. I'm probably the newest member, JCOD. I left ARC as the CEO because I saw what JCOD was doing. And I had the opportunity to travel to 2 countries, Finland and Norway. And their programs are set, they have such a low recidivism rate. I'm like, if we did this in California, in LA, we changed the whole makeup of everything. But my point to you is this, just imagine this is the building for D.O.O.R.S. It's called D.O.O.R.S. But the people that are providing the services are from where? Long Beach. So it's not us actually doing it. We're providing space, making sure that the facility works properly, making sure that people have access to the space, and then the community, you all have applied and JCOD funds you. JCOD gives you the contracts. So I'm trying to kind of get you to see that D.O.O.R.S. is simply the umbrella. Now imagine we have a D.O.O.R.S. in South LA, Lancaster, Long Beach, Pomona. What happens is that recidivism rate across the entire county goes down. Less of us, people that look like us, are inside. More of us at home with our families, and more of us are putting money in our banks and taking care of our kids. So this is a Long Beach project, so to speak, from my perspective. D.O.O.R.S. is merely a place how we're going to set it up. So just let me say this last piece. Working in the organization that costs $24 million a year to run, ARC, this is what we had to pay for rent. $560,000 a year for rent. Guess what? None of the community-based organizations that will be in D.O.O.R.S. will pay any of it, or lighting, or gas, or trash. D.O.O.R.S. will be absorbing those costs. JCOD. And so that's the piece I think, if I'm translating it right, because I'm listening to you, I want you to know, like, I want to see all my people, whether they're from Long Beach, Lancaster, South LA, come home. I spent 24 years in prison. I got some loved ones from Long Beach. Not from Long Beach, but I got loved ones, like my brothers. And so, if you imagine that, we can do this. JCOD is not coming in and saying we're going to do this. JCOD is trying to figure out a way to fund the programs here and create a space that will pay for, like, the building. Like, so I'm saying, imagine what if this was it. And right now we're having financial literacy. Anyone that wants to come in, because the service providers are not making those determinations. JCOD merely will come and say, okay, we don't like the building up for everybody. Does that make sense?
And also refer people to make sure that they're coming in to get those services.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for what you're doing. It's outstanding. I had a question because I was looking at the statistics and how much of the services is going to the middle school age group and the high school age group? Because when I saw the breakdown, so it's 18 and over. Okay, okay. Because
we do have our partner organization, Department of Youth Development, that does under 18.
okay, okay. So that's what I'm going with this. Because
Partner County Department, not all.
I got you, because the main concern here is the school to pipeline situation, and that's before 18. So I just wanted to know that did you have a department that will focus on the kids that may be at risk and provide services for them before they're 18? Thank you.
So that's DYD, the LA County Department of Youth Development. They're actually our sister department. And they were established, launched just before JCOD was, and so that department does similar things that JCOD does, except for the under 18 population. And so JCOD focuses on 18 plus. Department of Youth Development. LA County Department of Youth Development. LA County is all acronyms, call it DYD. Sir?
Good evening, people. On behalf of East Long Beach, I would like to, welcome you and welcome jcod, to our city. My name is Brian Lewis. I am a system impacted youth in, 1976 on this street right over here, 17th Street. My father, went to prison. He, got a double murder. I used to play on the same street that my father, caught his murder on. Right now, today, my people are the ones who, own and run the same street that my father, went to prison on in 1976. Sir, jcod, this is Long Beach. We do have problems. We have a lot of problems. We have a lot of issues. I am the, Major General of my Sept, Eastside Long Beach Rolling 20s, and right now, we are securing our kids and getting all the kids, out of our gang. So we need y'all help. You know, we need jcod help. We need the mama's help. We need all y'all help. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get all kids out of all Long Beach gangs. So the Rolling 20s are committed. So that's done yesterday. And also, your city is heading towards a peace, proposal process. All the gangs. Behind the wall, there's a historical peace treaty going on right now amongst all the gangs. So we're gonna bring that historical peace treaty to East Long Beach, and all the gangs in East Long Beach will be one and at peace. And the kids will be safe and the community will be safe. So this is right on time, sir. You know, and we thank you for coming. Sir, I salute you. Yes, sir, for your service. I have been a representative of the incarcerated persons behind the law. I've been to 16 different California Department of Corrections institutions. I've been the MAC chairman at each one of those institutions, sir. Thank you very much for your work. It's Long Beach. It's time for us to coalesce and get around these people. If they have the funds, they have the know-how, the wherewithal to move us forward. So I'm here today to ask y'all to please listen with your hearts, your mind, your intellect, use reason and logic in your thinking, and support these people. Because they have a plan and a mission. And right now, East Long Beach needs that plan and that mission. Thanks, sir.
Thank you for. Thank you for your words, real quick, Flo. Thank you for your words and for what you're doing. And you said you need jcod's help. So what's the main thing that in your perspective that jcod can do?
I have a property there that I'm trying to acquire. Across the street, there's another small property, it's 5,000 square foot facility. With the guidance of my spiritual leader, what we're trying to do is we're trying to introduce a cognitive behavioral treatment center, a post-traumatic treatment center, a traumatic treatment center for the residents of East Long Beach, as well as the members of my gang, the young members. Everybody below the age of 21 is going to school. So we have a school for them to go to on Atlantic. And we need funding. You know, and we're gonna have the entire city at that school, and we're gonna have the entire city at that cognitive behavioral treatment center because we're in a crisis. And there's an epidemic going on right now. And besides that, the state of California and the juvenile justice system is doing a disservice to our children right now. You know, they're not protecting them. They are harming them maliciously and by design, daily. You know, even today, after the lawsuit. So what we have done, what the Supreme Commander of my set has done, is said that we're gonna get all the kids out of harm's way. They're no longer gonna get into trouble. We're gonna protect our kids. So what we're doing is what I need your help to do, sir, is to get this cognitive behavior treatment center off the ground, get this gang intervention center off the ground, so secure our youth, all the youth of our city, secure the children, all the children of our city, so long as we can move forward. It's the greatest city in the world.
Appreciate that. Thank you. You have another question on this, Evan?
Quick question. Are there any efforts to hire individuals that have been in the justice system, county jobs, opportunities with the county, incarcerated county jobs?
100%. I know that Adam could speak to that more better than I could, but I know that I believe 20% of jcod's workforce is system impacted. Is that right, Adam? So we actively try to hire individuals with system impacted life experience. And so to answer your question is yes. And our jobs are posted whenever, if you're following us on social media or if you are subscribed to our newsletter, we always post when we have a new job open up. And anyone with system impacted lived experience can apply to those jobs. And we definitely, that's a plus for us because as I said, we try to lead with people who have that lived experience. Fair chance.
Lawyer, but yeah, our folks are qualified, we've been able to work the magic to get them through it, and honestly, I mean.
Yeah, Judge Armstead, the director of our department, she just kind of just makes it happen. And so she doesn't need, she's system impacted herself. She doesn't need that to try to hire people who are system impacted as well. And did you have a question, sir? I'm gonna come to you over there. All right, Savannah, right here in orange.
I'm Lloyd, and I'm also a lover of numbers, so I'm wondering, do you guys have a research and evaluation team at this point, or is that something you're building out? Because I did see some data, but obviously you're going to need some support getting that localized to Long Beach.
We do have a team. Like we have continued to say, we are a very young organization. But I know Kim Gray can help. We do have who heads the research and development team. We also, the dashboard data that you saw, someone on jcod staff, Wilson, has literally been building up that network. It connects to what we call our care management system, which is our internal case management system that stretches across all of our programs. We also task our providers to use to track all of their client interactions and client data. So yes, and in those 3 years, not only has it been in development, because I think we transferred this last year, we have switched systems to improve our data capture. And in that switch, we are also not only training all of jcod staff to be aware and to be functional in the system, but all of our contracted providers as well, which is led by our research.
Any other questions, sir in the green? This is not really a question. It's just I just wanted to kind of say introduce myself. Long Beach, I mean, I'm really empowered by what I'm hearing today. You guys are riding for your city, and I wish my city would ride for my city, right? My name is Brunson. I'm from the city of Watts. I'm from Watts. My name is Brunson Alexander. I represent Parents Anonymous. We're a nonprofit. Our nonprofit really deals with reaching out to individuals who have justice involved in their background. Specifically, we have a grant with EDD that makes sure that we are dealing with the justice impacted community. And so the cool thing about Parents Anonymous is that, well, for instance, just a background of me, every male in my family has been to jail, right? So uncles, cousins, grandfather, or own dad, right? I'm the only male in my family that has not been in jail. So I understand the passion, I understand the energy, you know, and I appreciate it. Again, I appreciate it because I wish when Watts would do the same thing, right? But for instance, with Parents Anonymous, we have a Medi-Cal peer support specialist program, which is a month-long program. If you're thinking about going into the mental health sector, if you're thinking about being a therapist, if you're thinking about getting therapy, we do a lot of different things. We have a 24-hour hotline that will get you to a free clinician if you are in a crisis. So if your children are in crisis, I have cards here if you need that. If they need to speak to someone, please give them a call because they will get you to a clinician, to a therapist to speak with them. But aside from that, I am in the workforce development department. And so we have a program that's a month-long course, 4 weeks. Once they're done for the 4 weeks, 80 hours to completion, you will take the Cal Mesa test, which is a state test. You will be state certified as a peer support specialist.
And so I really just want to throw that out there because we are directing to those who are just as impacted and in many other walks of life as well. And so I'm not from Long Beach, but I want to extend the help to Long Beach as well. Thank you, jcod, for inviting us here, because I think these conversations are important, right? These conversations are important because we love each other, right? And we want to see each other do well. So again, I'm just prepared tonight. If you want any more information about Medi-Cal Peer Support Specialist Program, please let me know, and I can give you that more information.
And also, just real quickly, thank you, sir. If you do have an organization, if you do have a community-based organization that you have founded, you can apply to jcod's Incubation Academy, and we do start a new cohort every 3 to 4 months. And in addition to sustainability training, contracts, grant writing, all that stuff, we do sometimes provide our graduates with capacity building grants. And so whatever part of LA County you're in, Long Beach included, of course. So yeah, so exactly. So that's one way that we try to help everybody in every corner of LA County. So Tobias, I know you guys had up earlier. Did you want to say something? Are you good? Okay.
Welcome, jcod. I'm here. I'm excited. I have mixed emotions about what's going on right here. But I'm excited that jcod is here. My question is, with all the research going on, and I met with this young lady, forgive me for names, we met with Adam and someone else. And during our time together, we talked about coming to the community and really hearing what the community needs are. So along with the young man that said, imagine what jcod does, could we also go along with this? Because there's sweat equity in both the community-based organizations and the faith-based organizations. And this sweat equity is generational, just like you heard. So is there a real-time statistical way, as we've been working with the city, to make sure that the community-based and faith-based organizations here that are working can be vetted and get in the process? Because coming in is one thing, getting to the people that need the services is another.
Before you answer that, I need your voice. I need you to do some voiceovers for me, sir. That's all. Go ahead, Savannah.
Felt like it was late night, it's a yes and question. Part of our team's life is translating that sweat equity. We talked about earlier, Sam Lewis is here, formerly head of our ARC, excuse me, Sam, who is helping us translate the effectiveness of our programs outside of the traditional ways. Because we're very aware of the historical divestment, and we know what we have been saying isn't always translating on paper. So you see a lot of our stats of these slides, thank you, Amy, they are getting updated anytime that we come off. We're not necessarily rushing the desktop. We are going in, we are building frameworks, we are building data collection databases, and it is a continuous process to make sure that our programs are not only trauma-informed, but they are also research-based.
I talked too long.
Do we have some PowerPoints?
Basic question was, how jcod, or will jcod have a real process to connect the community-based, faith-based organizations that are doing the work, implement them in the process?
And that's one thing I just mentioned about our Incubation Academy, is that we welcome all community-based and faith-based organizations to apply for our Incubation Academy, which does help to prepare those organizations for long-term success, and in many cases provides them with grants. And so whatever the work you're doing, we help you do more of that work. And so the same thing that Mr. Lewis mentioned about the D.O.O.R.S Center and there being organizations here and us providing them funding, we do that for organizations that are outside of D.O.O.R.S as well. We funded hundreds of community-based, faith-based organizations through our CFCI care grants. And so Adam mentioned earlier, we have more care grants coming up in the coming months. And so one of the things that JCOD does is funds organizations. Is that not what you're asking? You're asking how we're gonna help y'all do your work, right?
You went to money, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about the people that are doing the work, the means connected with the people that are doing work, make sure that work gets translated into what you're doing.
I mean, we've had these conversations, right? You and I.
We have this conversation.
This is why we're, so it can't be, promise for funds.
Oh, we're not?
No, I'm just, let me just, right, but, that being said, we've talked to folks in this room, to mobile left, because it's late. You've talked to folks in this room about what is possible, and how willing we are, how flexible we are willing to be, to ensure that, and I know we have a conversation about contract, subcontract, financial sponsorship, whatever it takes. Well, on the ground, been on the ground doing the service. That's not us. And so far be it from us to come in here and say, here's a bunch of stuff. Take it or leave it. That's not what we're doing. Right? This entire process is to listen and learn. This is just the first step. We'll do however many of these we got to do. And our team is committed to this. So these conversations, this is the first of many conversations. For us, it's about the third conversation, right? But we're going to continue to do this, continue to have this conversation because we have to. We have to get Long Beach, we have to get it for the people at Long Beach, right? And so we're riding with it. Trust me. Like, we are committed to this process. We are very committed to it. I don't want to just say, like, here's a grant opportunity. There are those. We're going to communicate to you all when those things are available. But more than that, it really is shoulder to shoulder. The best possible series of programs.
And before we go any further, I do want to mention our Together We Thrive Summit, which is taking place on November 19th. And everyone is welcome. It's a free event. We provide workshops, panels, everything's going to be free, food, entertainment. There are going to be performances, and that's going to be at We Play Studios in Inglewood. And so you can register. There's a QR code right there on the screen. You can register for that. Again, it's free. And so definitely want to mention that. And we want all of y'all to be there with us. Last question, Savannah?
Yep, last
Okay,
question.
Okay, great. I think it's a great last question. Thank you, JCOD, for this event. And I'm sure other people in the room want to know when is the next one.
Well, let me ask y'all, what would be a good time? Y'all said that 4 to 5:30 is not a good time. What would be good hours for the next event? 6 to 7. What would be a good time for the next one of these? A good time, a good hour of the day. 6 o'clock? Is there a preferred day of the week? Okay. Okay, I'm just. Okay, so we'll see if we can do that. As far as when what's that? Yeah, when it doesn't conflict with other JCOD programs. Okay, so. Okay, and that's what we're trying to learn about. That's what we want to hear and learn about. So 6 o'clock is when we'll try to make our next one on what day. And then how, you said we didn't get the word out to the community. How can we better do that? But I mean, give me something tangible. Like, do we go to certain sites to pass out flyers? I mean, because we did put out several, how we promote all of our events. We put out social media. We put out a press release.
Because that's what they do. When they want to get the word out, they know how to do it.
So Alexis, you got us then, right? Okay, so how much advance notice do you need? 2 to 3 weeks. All right, so we'll do that then. All right, thank you so much, everybody. We got to give up the room in a minute. We got to clean up, but please reach out, PIO@jcod.lacounty.gov if you got questions. Love to answer all those, and thank you again for being here.